In this video, I will show you how to manage and track your service requests. On the right-hand side of the screen, the system will automatically display your 4 most recent service requests. The options available to you can vary based on the status of your request. Using my own service requests as an example, you can see that I have the ability to request again, which I would use if I wanted to create a copy of a previously submitted service request. I also have the ability to cancel my request, or I can click on Details if I would like to view additional details and the approval history of my service request. Each of the service requests also displays the current status of that request. You can see here that I have a couple that are in initiated status, one that has been rejected, and another that's been canceled. Before I show you how to access additional details on your service request, let's take a look at the various statuses for service requests and what they each mean. The first status is draft. This would be a service request that you have started to fill out but chose to save it as a draft instead of submitting it. Pending means the work has been temporarily suspended. This can be done by one of your internal department's approvers. Submitted status is what you will see right after you submit a service request. This is a momentary lag in the system until the system starts the back-end workflow to retrieve all approvals. Waiting approval means your request has been submitted but is still pending approval, either from your own department or from CDT. In addition to these statuses, there's also the rejected status, which means one of the designated approvers, either from your own department or from CDT, has rejected your request. The reason it was rejected should be listed under the approval history section of the service request. After a request has received all of its required approvals, it will then change to initiated status. This means that work is now being planned for implementation, including targeting dates and estimating costs. Next, it will change to in progress, which means the service providers are working on the request and performing associated implementation tasks. Once implementation is completed, your service request will change to completed status. While in completed status, you will have 15 days to validate that the request was completed and you are happy with your request. After 15 days, the request will automatically change to closed status. Once it is closed, you will not be able to reopen the request. We cover the completion, validation, and closure process in more detail in another video. Last, we have the canceled status, which means the request was canceled by the submitter. Even canceled requests will be displayed in the My Request section of SRM. Now that we know all of our statuses, let's head back to SRM. Once you have submitted a service request, you can go back into the request and add additional information or attachments at any time while your request is open. To do so, just click on the service request that you want to access. Directly on the right is the activity log. You can add additional notes here at the bottom of the screen, or if you'd like to add an attachment, click on the folder icon and then use the Browse button to browse to where your file is located. Once you click Add, your attachment and notes will be displayed here on the activity log. Once they are added, a notification will be sent to the person who is working on your request to let them know an update has been made to the service request. You may also receive an email notification stating that your service request has been updated and needs your attention. Service requests that have received updates from CDT will display in your My Request section with a Needs Attention indicator. You can view the updates by opening the service request and viewing the activity log. If a designated approver rejects your request, you will receive an email stating that your request has been rejected. It will also change the request status to rejected, as you can see here in the My Request section. If you'd like to see why it was rejected, click on Details. Once your service request appears, go ahead and click on the Additional Details tab. Here on the right, you have your approval history. You can see who rejected your request, when they rejected your request, and the justification for rejecting your request. If you'd like to reopen your request, You have the reopen button here listed where the service request is. It will then prompt you to be sure that you want to reopen that request. After you click yes, your service request will then be in draft mode again. You'll have to start the approval process all over. You can cancel a request directly from the My Request section by clicking the Cancel button located below the request. Also, you can click the Cancel Request button from inside any service request. When you click the Cancel Request button, a message box will appear asking for you to confirm that request. As you can see here now, my status has changed to Cancel. This concludes our video on how to manage your service request.